We had a great start on our first episode, and I'm just expanding the potential because there is some demand there, and we will need that money. I'm taking a look at the research that we have around us and make sure that we clean this area so I can put down the interchange that we are building today. And I will use this wind turbine interchange from the workshop here. This is the largest one that we will have in the workshop, and I quite like that because we have plenty of space. And today we are going through the setup process for all of that. So the first thing I'm doing is obviously making sure that all roads are connected, because when I put it down, it removes some of the highway connections that we have in there. And I'm just making sure now that our curves are all smooth and that everything is properly connected as well. And I think this looks pretty good. So on the right side of the screen, I'll make a connection layer on to add some farming area. That's why I was looking into those resources. And on the left side, I don't know yet what we'll have, but we'll obviously make sure that we connect to the outside of the city, both right and left sides, and just to give us more options in there. So I'm just fixing all the connections here, making sure that we have all the entries and exits, and I'm just looking at those other ends because we don't actually need to change that now. And I'll walk you through some of the changes that I will do here, but we will come out of the speed build in a second. And for now, I'm just making sure that we have like 3 lanes in there in the middle, and everything else is just adding to that. So going back now to the normal modes, by the way, we have an issue during the live stream, and that's why the color is different, but it will be back. So what I'm doing here is basic lane mathematics. So we have 2 lanes going out on the left side, 3 lanes going straight ahead, and that just helps us not, so we don't need to actually set up anything. So like this, we don't need traffic manager to do that because this is automatically set up for us. And we have less things on the screen that will distract us when we are building. So there is nothing much more to do to that on lane mathematics. Just make sure that the sum of like the exit lanes is the same as the entry, and you have 2 lanes going to 1 and 1, and the other side 1 and 1 going to 2 lanes. And in this case, when they join, it's good to do this with traffic manager, so doing the lanes there, because otherwise they will try to cross all the way to the other side like this, and we don't want that. So I'm going back to the speed build now, where there you go, we have more light now, and I will just replicate the same connection on the other side. I'll just redo this connection because we have a very short junction in there, and I don't like that. But I think like I really like this junction here, and I will start working now in something else. So this is the intersection marking tool, and I just love this, and I'll use this a lot. So I just want to show you how that works. If I hold shift and connect those 2 dots, we'll draw a straight line. If I hold Ctrl and move that dot, we can make sure that the lines connect at the right location. And we'll do the same thing here on the other side. I just by accident put that double dash there, so we go back to solid line, and we will do the same thing now in the middle, but using the dashed lines. So I'll make all those connections. For this one is a solid line because they can cross in there. So again, the 2 lanes on the left always leave. This is something that you have to set up with traffic manager or doing lane mathematics. The intersection marking tool will just show the the screen. It'll just show the basic layout that you're drawing, but the cars won't obey that. Now, one of the things that I want you to hear, I want to try to mimic the lines that we have in the highway there. So I'm increasing the dash length so we match that a little bit better. And then I'm also doing the space length later on, because I don't think I quite got that right at the beginning. But there we go, we are doing that. I think we just still need a little bit more, and I'll come back later and do that. You'll see we're doing this, and we can also save this as a template so we can apply on the other lines as well. So I'll create one. I will call it dotted lines, and that saves, and then we can just select the next one, apply template, select lines, and there we go, we have that selected. And I'll do it for all the knotted lines here, so we follow the same pattern, and we'll do the same thing on the other side later on. But I won't show you every single junction because I know that you don't want me to repeat myself all the way like I did during the live stream, which, by the way, you can click on the link on the corner of the screen. You can watch that if you want to. Now let's just finish this. There is something else that you can do here that's called the filler. So if you have a space where cars won't drive, we can add a filler for that. So basically what it is, you click here on filler and you have to press Alt, which I just messed up, but you have to press, let's go again, I'll get it. Let's reconnect just that line before I mess it up, and let's press filler, hold Alt and click on those dotted lines there we go, and we will make a shape basically with that. So you just create that line and we will change it. You have a few options here. So this is the stripes, that's the style that you can choose, and we can change that to, for example, grid or chevron or solid. I like the solid one, but we are not using this for the highway. We are using the chevron option, and you can actually change the way the chevron look. Pressing the turn button, you turn that around, and there we go, exactly how you want that to look. And we will do this on the other side and on the other intersections again, and we will be back at the speed build. As you can see, on the left side, I forgot to add that line in there, the curved line, and I'll just redo it so it matches the same shape. There we go. And I think like this is pretty easy. As you understand how this all works, it gets pretty easy to get this done. As you can see, it's just repeating the same process on all the other junctions. We'll add a filler in there as well, change that around, and there we go. You can change the width, you can change the length, you can change the color of these lines if you have a different road, and you can make sure that it all matches. So this is a very powerful tool if you want to play around with that, and I highly recommend that you do, because this looks a lot more realistic and it gives your city life basically. And as you can see, I just moved that around to show you that when you move things around, the lines will all follow, so you don't have to worry about, like if it was a decal, you would have to move that around as well and change the shapes. And in this case, you don't need to do that because the mod will automatically do that all for you. So it looks like, look at that, it looks pretty good, and I'm really happy with how that looks. And we are finishing this other corner here, and that will be done in a second. And that is something else that I want to show you. Just look at that. This looks fantastic. Like, I just want to show you how that looks because I think this is pretty cool. Again, this is the intersection marking tool. I'll leave the link in the description below, and you should definitely take a look at that and make sure that you familiarize yourself with that. Just see if that works for you. I was trying here some different size and spacing for the lines in the middle, and I didn't like that, so I changed that back. So I think you have to experiment with the mod and see what works for you and what's not. And I like the way it's almost all standard, just a few tweaks here and there. And when I open the game later on again, I'll have the same default and templates actually in there for me to apply to anything else that I do. Now here on the east side, we are doing the future connection for the farming area and a lot more that will grow the city that side as well. But I won't do any final connection in there. We won't build anything today other than just a few, actually a couple of fixes that we need to do, but we'll get that in a second. But again, we are working on the marking tool here again, and I just like love it how these all look at the end, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well, because it's work that you have to put in the game. You are not like growing your city, you're not doing anything, but look at that. It looks really, really good, and it's a lot more realistic than having those blank space in those sections. So I'm really happy, and this is the farming area that we'll build later on. I'm just putting down some suburb area and naming it as farming area for now. If you have a suggestion for the name of the area, please let me know. And here, back to the main city, I forgot to take a look at that during this whole episode. And what happened there was that we didn't have enough space for garbage, and we stopped collecting, and we went from 4,200 people to 2,400. So I put down our Brutus incinerator in there that is very powerful and has a lot of trucks, and it actually solved the issue. That Brutus incinerator, it also gives you some power back, which is great. We can use that, but yeah, I think this is fixed and the population is coming back to the city. But again, this is all just our money making, and we will rebuild all that. But that's it for today, guys. Please don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.